on there dry humping kids, and now they got their whole season suspended and the coaches suspended.
Sorry for the delays and the technicalities. AT&T, I will have my vendors with you. Tonight I'm testing out a new network called Comcast Xfinity, which traditionally has been like the city bus of the internet. So if I have a few Xavier type wireless internet experiences, it is what it is. But welcome to another episode of the Black Super Friends. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. The person I'm gonna introduce first is the Super Mario Senior.
Hey, good afternoon and greetings.
All right, next I got Chris Leo.
And the Leo season coming to an end. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for showing up like you always do. If you either Leo or you're not, so thank you.
All right, it's one of those nights I can clearly see that. Hey, well, I did go to Chris Leo, right? All
Yes, you
right,
did.
next the person who's giving himself another name tonight, you would know him as LL Cool J.
Yes, yes. I had to give up a name change after, well, with a lot of incoming requests and just an outpour of support last week. I had to change my name to the Ladies Love Kuze. I don't know why, but the proof is in the pudding, and I just appreciate it. It's a nice new week, and I'm so happy. It's Monday Night Raw. Let's get it.
They loves it raw.
I can
Listen,
tell you
man.
that.
I'm actually trying to fix our connection issue that we're having this night, but maybe I will check it on YouTube. Hey, I guess while I'm figuring that out, I'll ask y'all the most basic things. I'm gonna go to this first. It's the end of Leo season. All right, one more day, and then we will be stuck with. I forgot the next people, and I can't think of what they call. I don't really understand what that sign is, but I talked to the governor, and I was like, "What is a Virgo, and why do we need a Virgo season after Leo season?" So I'm trying to see what's gonna go on with that, but Leo seasons came to an end. Chris Leo, talk to
Mhm.
me. You just had a magnificent celebration.
Oh man, my this was a good year for me actually. The birthday, the whole season. Even from your party at Leo Energy Party was amazing. That again, I cannot forget that spot. It was sweaty, but I loved it. And then to follow that up with have a dinner. First of all, that was my first birthday dinner. I had never had that before. I always thought it was kind of girly, but I thought it was this was kind of cool. Uh, Real, we still looking for you for suggesting that place, bro. That shit was up. That shit sucked. But it was the fellowship was real cool, man. I think what I'm saying. That's over 30 years of friendship in one room, dog. And there's it's like the multiverse of friendship because me and Norman was friends, but then Horace and Zay came from Norman. My brother, which wasn't in the room, and Corey, who wasn't in the room, which is also some people that means a lot to me. But my brother brought in Hardy, who brought in Papa for me. You know what I'm saying? The yellow boy is somebody that you can't the only Filipino kid in Rivera. You got to know who he is, and we've been knowing each other since like 10 years old. Uh, I can't say enough about the Deacon, man. He's played a major part in my life. So to have all those guys in one spot, men that I respect, men fathers, no, that was amazing to me, and I really didn't think nothing of it. Like I didn't think, when Hardy proposed it to me, I was like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But just to have that dog. I appreciate y'all for showing up. Even the people that couldn't show up, I appreciate that. That was amazing to me. So that was cool. That was on a Tuesday. That was even before my birthday. And then my birthday come, you know, appreciate appreciate y'all ladies. It was a wonderful night. Then I had another birthday dinner that Eddie V's, man. So it was pretty nice. It was a pretty nice weekend, man.
All right. What did you think about the Super Mario scene?
I think Leo season always special to me because some of the most supportive people in my life are Leos. You know what I'm saying? My wife a Leo, Chris, my other homeboy Pac-Man a Leo, Tubi a Leo, my homeboy Jeff a Leo, my little sister a Leo. Like that whole week starting at the 13th all the way to summer Leo, all the way to like the 20th. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like Yellow. Um, who else?
Horse on the knife.
Yeah, I said
Hmm.
horse. I
Oh
said
my bad.
horse. Yeah. It's just so many. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna forget somebody, and I apologize. But it's so many people from the beginning of time just in my life just was like that week. Not alone just a Leo. It's been like every day is somebody's birthday who I, you know what I'm saying, who I care about. So I loved it. I flew down on Soul Plane to Chris event. And, first of all, let me start with Horace. I had an amazing time. Like, you know, I was gonna do that regardless. You know what I'm saying? I always have a good time when I come home, see Zay and Horace, you know what I'm saying? And we normally hit the cigar bar. So, you know, it started, we didn't even know that was gonna start. And it started at the cigar bar. That turned into like a meet of the minds. A lot of my homeboys I ain't seen in a long time came out that night and it was like amazing. And the next night came out, and it was the ambiance. I was unbeknownst of such a amazing venue right up under my nose. And then the DJ was on point. The vibe was amazing for Riviera Beach. And then you know, not to go on, but this would really help me too. Uh, I missed Big Norman party, but I had talked to him too. And then we had like a men's breakfast the next morning. And that was just, you know, I sat around that table and I looked down, I was like, man, I kind of felt like Chris, like, dang, man, that's a lot of people here who I love. And then to see, you know, with Big Norman saying, man, I'm proud of y'all, boy, you know, elder statesman of our street, seeing us grow up and looking at my homeboys through these seasons as we get older, you know what I'm saying? When Yellow Boy called me by Chris thing, it's like, we should do something. And I said, yeah, let's put it in the motion. I said, that's what we got to start doing, celebrating each other, because like Chris said, it normally is the women. Normally it's the women, and I give it to my wife. Them they get together, they celebrate each other, they hangs out, and they be like, "We love each other, we definitely each other." But it's like, "Happy birthday, Nick," and then you go off. You know what I'm saying? I think uh the last couple of years I've been celebrating my homeboy's birthday, and I've been saying it's been a breathtaking experience for me. So man, happy birthday! Shout out to Leos. I can't hate on y'all because there's so many of y'all I love, man.
Listen, I want to say something, and I'm gonna double back onto it at the end. But I will say, man, bro, this probably I don't know if it felt like a victory yet, man. We always congratulate each other, give each other little text messages and whatever. But I really felt like this was a different year, man. To see everybody connect like we did at my bash down in Riviera, the atmosphere, toasting it up with my boys, smoking cigars, bottles everywhere on the ocean front, bro. That was a hell of a moment to have, and then to make sure I honor my homeboy and make sure I drove up. I canceled a meeting and said, "Nah, I'm going there." I'm always, hey man, that meeting can wait till tomorrow, and just making sure I was there, man, just to see a surprise, just to see my boy feel like he loves on his birthday. So I just felt like this Leo year was special, man. Shout out to Miss Hardy, just a lot of people, but some reason, man, I just appreciate the celebration this year for some reason, man. Never know when all of us can get together like that again. So when we do, it's special, man. Definitely when I get to see the deacon, man. So all of us connected in some kind of funny way. So it's interesting, man. LL Cool J.
My brother, it's Leo season, not year. I just wanted to make a correction for you. You know, you misspoke. But I will say this to the Leos, man. Thank God, man. Good God, it's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of y'all Negroes, and I mean KNEEGRO. It's a lot of y'all, bro. But anyway, we did have a lot of fun this year with you guys. I won't lie. From the Jeffrey Russells who missed out on the great sit in with Chris. You got the Sinead's, which is his birthday twin, which is his cousin. She's inside of our circle of influence as well. You got Shayna. You even got what's the name? Mike Bell, our cousin. Happy birthday to you, Mike. You feel me? It's a lot of y'all. There's so many of y'all that one can slip and miss saying happy birthday to y'all. So if we did miss somebody in this season, man, it's definitely a happy birthday for you. But it is a lot of y'all to keep up with. But I'm glad, Chris. I've been trying to show you and Horace the way for a number of years. Hardy can attest to this because he has flown out with me on a birthday. You got to celebrate yourself. I try to show y'all, but y'all don't listen to me. And you see how rewarding it is? See how it feels on your birthday to be around people who love you and just enjoying that you made another circle around that moon? And we definitely need to pick up on that, hang out a little bit more, not just when it's birthday times, but kind of carve out sometimes. But I be trying to show y'all the way. I just wanted to leave that in there for y'all Leos.
Zay, look at my face.
I don't like looking at that.
Just,
The hell, this joker give us a speech.
I mean,
That's what you got to
I
do in
love you
Leo
guys.
season.
I
Yeah.
love you guys. I swear I love you guys. But the actual birthday is not the one that I want to spend, the day I want to spend with you guys. Just to be honest with you.
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
feel the same way.
I forgot. I thought you were a nighttime guy. Happy 10th.
Yeah, yeah.
You can hang out with us during the day, and you know what
Okay.
you're doing at night.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm just
so
saying.
listen, I'm gonna do it this way, man, because we still haven't. Listen, Facebook Live has been acting up. Well, Facebook is having issues tonight, so maybe Facebook is down completely. So we'll see how that go. But I wanted to give y'all quickly run around the horn, man. I wanted to watch my wordplay. I wanted to ask y'all what y'all thought about recent news, and I'm gonna give you 3 clips real quick to let you know. Today, Shakari Richardson. Salute to that sister who became a world champion today. Let me make sure I get my clips right. News. All right. I don't know why the volume never works on here, man.
Because we can't hear a damn thing.
It's about, I mean, really.
Gotta read.
Huh?
Now telling Chris you gotta read.
Nah, it's one of them nights, I guess. All right. It was one of those days, man. I wanted something to goddamn work.
West Palm Beach, Florida, Delray Beach, Jupiter, and all the surrounding areas, I'm officially on the way. And I need to know where all the food spots is. Seafood, Dominican food, Haitian food, Jamaican food, soul foods.
All right, people. That man has a 1 million following, and he goes around the country looking for the best food spots in America, and he rates them. Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, do not embarrass us. Do not invite this man to nobody's house where they selling plates and doing hair. Give him some of the best spots that we had to offer, okay? I don't want to call a certain black business out, but don't send him there. This man gives real critique. If it ain't hitting, it ain't hitting. And Palm Beach, we can't take no bad press right now. So please make sure that you know, give him the best that we had to offer. All right. And before we close out, I got something else. Since everybody missed, we talked about my party. I know Leo Bash was the last topic, but I want to give everybody
First of all, I'm going patterns from now on. That's just. I think I found my vibe. I like it. It's breathable. You know what I'm saying? And I still got on the collar. So I think I'm going patterns from now on, man.
Okay, well, it's your choice. You got to know what works for you, my man. I play it safe on the fashion level. Some on this thing do not. They choose to go a different route.
Hey, I got
Hey,
one of my
each his.
best shirts from my brother Chris, and it was a pattern that flaming hot Cheeto shirt. Hey, listen, that was handed down pattern from my brother.
Flaming hot, huh? Already. Hey, so Chris, I'm gonna give it to you because
No, you're not.
Yeah, yeah, flaming hot.
No,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not. No, you're not.
listen, you buttholes. Listen,
I
Keke
think that's what
Palmer,
you're talking about.
Keke Palmer, you were the date doctor, and you were also anti-feminist. You are the captain. Keke Palmer is trending again because she chose attention over being a whole two-parent home type woman. So, Chris, Keke Palmer BD strikes back. So we don't know if that's confirmed, but I know you had a lot of thoughts about that.
Yeah. Now personally, like I said, the story isn't confirmed, but I'm not for extortion at all, not in the least.
Mhm.
I don't think that people should be incentivized for leaving relationships. And but to my knowledge, I don't know what's the inner workings of that relationship. I'm thinking that he left it. So I don't believe that he should be incentivized for leaving the relationship. I believe that I believe in money. I believe in this, especially when it comes to money being involved and children being involved. I just don't believe that. So what I think is this: in the Bible, which I'm not a big religious guy, but in the Bible it says the love of money is the root of all evil. I can't think of any people in the world that loves money more than women. I think that this woman is the root of evil. She broke up a home simply to get paid, simply for attention. So in this particular case, I will make an exception for extortion. I believe that in this particular case, bro, she's been on a campaign to disrespect you, emasculate you, and just completely ruin you, disrespect you since the night that she publicly chose to cheat on you. So for me, I don't think you should take any prisoners. If you can get child support, if you can get all these things, go right ahead, man. Because at the end of the day, this woman is deliberately trying to disrespect you, deliberately trying to emasculate you. And if she can rely on the support of simps, male feminists, and hoes, then go right ahead. But from what I've learned, those three people are wishy-washy. They go with whoever's popular at the time. So you said your son gave you some ass. You said you don't need a nigga. All you need is a bag. Make sure you prepared to share that bag now. That's
And
all. Turn your mic on. You are a professional.
Yeah, one of these nights I am. Listen, next I'm gonna go to LL Cool J, who sometimes sympathizes with the estrogen community. So I know his answer might not be the same as mine. So, what are your thoughts as a baby daddy, Xavier?
I'm I'm actually just laughing that she allowed these women to champion her right into single motherhood. From what I heard, that shit not easy. But I understand she's of the wealthy, so it might not be a feat for her. She can pay for it, but that emotional stress, that physical stress of having to deal with a child all the time because of the bravado of I'm the breadwinner or I'm not gonna listen mentality or just listening to other people champion you on, did not hold yourself accountable to some of your actions is amazing to me. That's all I saw. I don't really get into the intricacies of the rich people back and forth and what they want and everything. I really think that should be handled in house. They're both adults. They should figure out what they're gonna do next. What they do is none of our business. But I think that that's shameful that you don't have individuals talking life into her and telling her you need to make that home work for the good of the child, if that was even a thought in her mind. But I would assume so, being that she did lay down and have a child with her, and they had a flourishing relationship, or at least we thought so. It's just very funny to me how I see that individuals will push the negative before they push a positive image. And she fell for it. That was pretty much it for me.
Well, as I always say, most of the population are idiots. No civilization can
Agreed.
prosper and go forward when the state of their woman is in disarray. And right now, I look at the state of the next generation of women, and I am disgusted, and I have no excuses. I am disgusted from Sexy Red to Suki to Gabrielle Union to this woman. People say that money is the root of all evil. No longer. It is now attention. Whether it's social media, whether it's people that depend on trending to profitize, whether it's people that had fame and missed it because it's an addictive drug, everybody, majority of people are doing the most just to be recognized. Some people's self-worth comes from, I'm gonna put a picture up and I don't get a certain likes, I'm gonna kill myself. I need to be poured into. My validation comes from other people. It is sad because I see the comments from different people under these posts. Now that story wasn't even confirmed, but most of the time when you see those postings like with her, man, looking at the comments from women, let me know, man, this next generation they are clueless, man. And I can't say Chris wrong because that's the attitude they have. Like family, it's like on people are anti-family is quick come up. I'm about to get this bag. F him. As long as I got some money, a little bit of freedom. Like I don't even want no connection. I got some freedom. I got a little bit of money. And that's good enough for me. That's no different than a lady who we got on a couple of weeks ago who actually went out and said she was going to have a child through a donor. Plus, he was a white donor. But said she could raise a kid on her own. Like, how selfish was that? But the ideology of people right now is crazy. So I swear to God, she don't, this right here, she's a public figure, so she's a little more popular. But if you look at the ideology of most of the people right now, most of the females, it is anti-family. And it's all about twerking, perking, and just having a good time with no responsibility. So, yeah, I'll get in trouble for that rant as well. Mario.
I want to talk to Mr. Raymond, Usher. See, suckers are suckers. I don't care how much I'ma like your music. I don't care how much this world I like you as a person. I feel for your pain. Just 2009, we all felt sorry when Usher was getting took to the ringer by his ex-wife. He was made to pay enormous amounts of child support, and he had to keep going back because she was having custody of his son, and he was saying she was an unfit mother, and he didn't want her gallivanting with his money in the clubs of Atlanta and everything. Now, fast forward years later, you are the support system for such tragedy that Tootie just talked about, and you're a sucker for it. I hope you hear me, Usher. I probably won't, but if you do, I hope somebody who's closest to him, his mom, his brother, his sister of a sister, a cousin of a cousin says to me, you was a sucker, Usher, a sucker, because you are fueling this fire. This was dying out, actually. Then you go and make a song, and then your lyrics to the song say, I heard your boyfriend is looking for me. He doesn't say anything about Keke. He specifically calls out the man. In that whole song, he berates the man, he embarrasses the man, and he demasculates the man. The whole song. You're a sucker, Usher. I'm gonna keep saying this because you were begging for help and support when you was made to pay that $9,000, $8,000 a month for child support, and you couldn't get custody of your child. Now this man may have the same feet because she's going to be on the road going around. He might don't have the funds to travel from town to town or can compete with her in court as you did, but you're going to keep putting money and fueling this fire to a misguided young woman who doesn't give a damn about family, because Chris alluded to, whether you believe it or not, it is the love of money. Because since this has happened, all she has alluded to is her love for money and how that is all she's focused on. When before this happened, she was a mother. She was a loving family member. She understood the nucleus of a family and how much it mattered to her. But all of a sudden, it's I don't need him and I got money, so I'm going to be okay. So I hope, and I hope this young man and all the prayer warriors from here to Zimbabwe, I want you to get on your knees at least 2 times a day until this goes to court. And I want you to send up a prayer like you never sent before. Because we need all the prayer warriors who are men, who have been through child support, who have been through broken families, who have seen broken families, who have seen men in their family demasculate. I can't even say this word right tonight, and this is pissing me off. Demasculized. Demasculated. I want them to understand, pray like you never prayed before. Because I don't care who don't like it. I want her to be the example to all women, near and far, high and low, that you never choose money over a secure family. Even if you don't want this man, this is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
To embarrass your son's father that he has to grow up to and look at as his father for another man who's in a relationship with a woman who don't want you and you don't have a chance to, is not only the dumbest road that you're putting your son on to success, but it's killing y'all family name and crescent as a whole. I'm ashamed.
And nobody's talking about that, dog. Like at the end of the day, me and my baby mama are separated. She's moved on. She got another kid. She's in a relationship and everything. But I'd be damned if I let the world, especially people from my platform, disrespect her, like publicly disrespect her. That doesn't make no sense. And I'm glad you brought up the Usher spin on it because I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you is a sucker. You're supporting the same women that outed you and talked shit about you and said you had herpes. These are the same women. These are the same women that supports Keke. It's the same women that spread it that you had herpes, that believed that fat ass woman when she got up there lying on you. And these are the people that support you. You can't depend on that type of support. That shit is wishy-washy as fuck. Let me leave it alone.
Listen, well, since we're talking about fuckery, I want to keep the ball going. Derrick Jackson, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say my opinion. I didn't even put the clip up because I'm pretty sure he's desperate for money, so he won't be suing me. Okay, so I didn't have time to go and get the Public Fair Use Act enacted, so I take no chances with such a character. Well, and another exhibit of women, y'all just goddamn don't learn. Derrick Jackson was on another interview where he talked about how triggers cause his infidelity in the marriage. He also talked about how his wife, I recall, stating that the way that she treated their kids was another reason that led to his infidelity. Now, I'm not the brightest. No, fuck that. I am. I'm pretty goddamn genius. I want to say this. It's amazing how, and I say it all the time, it's about the messages. You look at him, y'all used to love him when he wore his Three Musketeers sweater and all this stuff, and knew through all the fuckery that this man is happened to say. It just seems that women keep tuning in to the character. I don't even know how to understand. This man treated his holier than thou biblical wife like he treated her like crap. He got on here for 2 years and told y'all about how men ain't this, men ain't that. You got to watch out for him. And he was the wolf the whole time. Now, as he got exposed, now he's back as the victim. And I'm looking at the reviews and how these views going and how people, oh my God, I didn't know she was like that. Oh, poor man. You women don't deserve a man. You do not. Your intelligence is not there. Like, this is what I'm talking about, bro. The people that be talking that real stuff, if he don't have this appealing look, you don't listen. Y'all like him, y'all think Jackson's appealing. How can y'all not identify a narcissist when you see it? This man got exposed. This man has been more than, I'm dumbfounded, to be honest. So he's back on this whole, on his podcast regime, and he's the victim now. And somehow women are sympathizing, and I just can't understand it. What's your thoughts on that, Super Mario Senior?
I love it. I looked at that interview and I said, "Rumble, young man, rumble," but not for none of the reasons that you alluded to, because all of those reasons that you alluded to pissed me off too. But it's just because I'm becoming to see that you know what they said, that quote, "I'm just voting for anybody who black." That's how I feel about men right now. I don't give a damn how we win. I just want us to win. I don't care. I'm tired of. See, I tried the other way to be like, you know what? Hey, y'all, this is wrong. You shouldn't date these kind of dudes. You shouldn't do this. This is good. And I got called this. Even when I don't agree with me, I become that. When I say something you like, then I'm great. When I say something, so it's just like Chris said, you wishy-washy. So one thing I can be consistent on is this: I'm gonna be a man all my life, 100%. I was born on this side. So I'm gonna stay on this side. I'm gonna ride with this side. And then we'll worry about Derrick in our own groups and our own memberships. But in public, Rumble, young man Rumble. The way he just twisted it all around. Everybody know the exact story of what happened. I seen him look convincingly into the camera, articulately, with emotion, raised eyebrows, saddened eyes, gestures, and say, I was almost a man in distress. Caught in a web of weave of love, trying to keep a family together with a deranged woman. And I stuck it in as long as I could. But I had to prevail, and love prevails it all. And it beat me down so much that I did something immorally by step outside of the man who I know I am, who God put me in. And I did this because I was weakened by her evilness. But I overcame and seen my wicked ways. And I left that situation because I didn't like the way that situation, the man that was making me. And now I'm out here again, back on the right path, trying to set the record straight that you rather leave than get beat down by such evilness as she had. Man, it just riveted through my soul the way he expressed his lies, deceit, and all of this propaganda. And I seen the way Tootie just allowed they just ate it up. Oh, I watched the comments. And I was just getting happy about a minute. I seen the women say, yeah, she was crazy. I seen them, yeah, Dad, you should have left. Now that don't make no sense to do them kids like that. I just loved it. I ate it up. And then I said, man, Rumble, young man Rumble. Young man, you Rumble. Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty. Go ahead.
He nasty.
LL Cool J.
Oh man. I took it. I tell you what, it gave me another look at Derrick Jackson. It was a very interesting point of view. In the words of my illustrious brother King Chris, he said the what you call it, the tricks of the Jedi mind trick. That's what it is. That's what Chris calls it, the Jedi mind trick. But I watched him. He talked about what he did, and he owned up to what he did. We got homeboys like that. You know what I'm saying? They'll own up to what they did, and they'll play victim. You know what I'm saying? And they'll talk about the other person. You know what I'm saying? And transfer the energy and the blame over there, but never fully sit there and say, I put myself there. He did that, and I think that his putting himself in that seat is for financial gain. It ain't genuine. So when we heard him tell the story, and I saw the interview, and like I said, it was very informative. He gave a lot of information on his wrongdoing. I just don't feel the conviction of I'm sorry. I do feel a wolf where I do it again, or I'm learning how to perfect my craft, and I'm gonna make me some more money out of it. I'm gonna capitalize from the situation. He know better than Keke, I guess, at that rate. But I thought it was entertaining.
Zay,
what about you, Chris?
That nigga took it to the, what are you talking about? He took it all the way to the door. That's when he came clean. Like, you got, boy, the nuts on this joker is unbelievable. You can get away with it. You can get away with it in this climate because they eat it up. Because I'm listening, like, bro, he took it to the door.
He went quiet. He let them say what they supposed to say. And then he came back and he gave them their version after they got it all out because they only just wanted to hear what happened. So he gave his side now. So now they can put the pieces together and there's something to talk about, but it needs a buzz. So what happens when he's the buzz, the click? He getting the money. He actually perfected that. He knew what he was doing.
It's interesting. I just realized I know a Derrick Jackson.
Dog, did you just say the nuts on Derrick Jackson is amazing and the girls just eat them up? Did you just say that?
Yeah, I guess I did.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought I heard.
Informative.
I see.
Bro, I'm like Hardy. I'm listening at the interview and I'm looking at the comments like, God damn, bro. I go and say, boy, you guys are idiots. Like, man, I can't even be mad. Like, it is sweet out here right now. Like, bro, it is sweet out here right now. Chris Leo, what a time to be alive.
Have you guys ever seen one of the most underrated movies ever? Vampire in Brooklyn. Y'all ever seen that movie? Well,
Yeah.
Excellent movie.
well, Eddie Murphy is a vampire that turns himself into a priest, and then he do a sermon on the top of the roof because he couldn't be in the church, and he such a convincing sermon that it makes you think evil is
Ass is
good.
good.
What would be a sunny day? No, what would be a sunny day if it wasn't for rain? He just the way he did it was masterful. He had a whole group of church people converted into thinking evil is good. That is what I just seen in that Derrick Jackson video. Derrick Jackson is a cockroach. It doesn't make a difference what you do. You're not going to kill cockroaches. You're never going to get rid of them. They're going to find a different way to show up. There's nothing you can do. They've been selling Raid ever since before I was born, and cockroaches has never died. I think that's what Derrick Jackson is, and he put me in such a perplexing spot because I don't support you at all. I don't support you at all. But
However,
like Hardy said, I'm team men, and so heterosexual. I'm team men, and that's just how it is with me. So if he winning, but what I think we should look deeper into is again trying to have your faith in simps and male feminists. That man interviewed his wife before. Not one time when he interviewed the wife, he was all empathetic to her. Then he interviewed Derrick. He's all empathetic to him. Who gets the tough questions, in your opinion? Or is it just whoever you in the interview with that day you're rocking with? That's why you can never put your support in hoes. You can never put your support in simps, and you can never put your support in male feminists. So they wishy-washy and they're gonna go with the tide all the time. Stand 10 toes down on what you believe in and be unwavered to it, unless someone enter information in that is compelling and not about feelings and is about facts. So yeah, I don't even know how to take this one. I'm not a Derrick Jackson fan. Um, you know, I got to take his story on face value because it's nothing. It is nothing in this climate today. There is nothing you can tell me about a woman, and I won't at first believe it. I'm sorry. I didn't got to that point. So yeah, he put me in a bad position on this one.
Listen, man, I know I get the hate on the show, but I kind of like it because some of the stuff I just be like, a dude that loses his mind, like the coach that got the bad team, he just losing his mind. But you got the waterhead kid. Like, I'm not a Jackson fan at all, but it might be kind of backwards because it's kind of like maybe I'm jealous of the bullshit he getting away with because it's like, bro. Like it's unreal, and you can see a Joker come out here and give some real facts, some solid stuff that a woman could take away, as and change them and help them. And a chick will tell you, you don't know what you're talking about. And you can say, "Hey, from a man, oh, that's not how men think." But y'all get my brother with the Bill Cosby sweater on, you know what I mean, and he says X, Y, Z, and y'all go for it. Between him and Charlie Chapstick, I don't know who worse. And I still think Charlie Chapstick gay as hell. If y'all ever see that little show he do, he be ooh, ooh, ooh. Ain't no man should ever do this in his life. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If I see you can't even be near me, cuz in life.
Very animated guy.
Yeah, and he always got that damn chapstick near him. You missing out on the sponsorship, my guy. you could definitely sell chapstick the way you gotta put your lips on gloss every minute. Hey, so let me ask y'all something else. So don't shake your head. Do you believe in the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure? This topic came from Chris Leo. So I definitely want to hear your perspective on this. Do you believe in the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure?
Absolutely. I believe that 100%. One man trash is another man's treasure. If the man is a garbage collector, that's all. Again, like I don't believe that men drop treasures. I just don't. I think a treasure will leave you if you mishandling a treasure, and then you can find that. But if she trash, she trash. I don't care who got her. Now, if you are a recycler, a scrap guy, you take value in some trash, but that does not make it a treasure. that absolutely does not make it a treasure. It just means trash that you appreciate, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But to think that men are out here just dropping just dropping these treasures, no, they're not. They're getting left by treasures, yes, because they're mishandling them, but they're not fumbling them. Most guys that get a real treasure try their best to keep up to take care of it. But no, I 100% believe that every one man treasures another man treasure. The other man is just a garbage collector.
Well, Chris, before we go to the other guy, let me ask you, because I want to, before we go deep in the discussion, uh, I think trash is trash. Trash can never graduate from being trash.
Mhm.
However, I do believe that as men, sometimes we do drop trash. We do drop treasures. You know, sometimes we just ain't ready to receive such treasure. It's like I'm walking home and somebody want to give me a 60-inch TV, but I ain't got no time because I'm walking that direction. I just left home. I want to go back. Like, I think we do drop treasure sometimes. I thought it was a good analogy. Sometimes I do think we F up treasure. I
Yeah,
think
we can
it's
F
hard
up.
to.
We can F
I
it up.
think sometimes you got treasure and it's trash. I think a lot of dudes think they got something. They're fine. What they think is treasure is trash. As soon as you go to work, boy, she got damn boxing with the neighbor. But that's just my input on that one.
I just don't think that we men are saying no. This woman is so good to me, and I just don't want to be with you. Or all these perfect women, these treasures, then they saying I don't want to be with you. I think what happens is that woman is a treasure. You're not doing what you're supposed to do, and she leaves you. I just
Wait a
don't
minute.
see men saying, "Oh my goodness, I done found the treasure of my life." Oh no, I don't want that.
Wait a
I
minute.
don't
So
see
I'm gonna
that.
give you a scenario. So two dudes, they kind of cordial, they friends. So the chick leaves dude A, goes to dude B, and then they get married. But the way that she did dude A was so trashy. Like, dude married her, so he found like she was treasure. In reality, dude A gonna be like, this bitch was pure trash. And the way she did the whole thing was so slimy. Can she not be trash?
Again, again, you just a garbage collector. She's not a treasure.
Oh,
She,
he a garbage collector. I get it. Okay.
you can sit there and put lipstick all over that pig all you want to. It's still a goddamn pig.
LL Cool Z, give me your insight. This gonna be interesting.
It's
I
always
want Zay.
interesting.
I
It's
want
always
Zay.
interesting.
I want
Wait a
Zay
minute.
after a doobie Zay.
Please stop. Don't say that again. That sounds cringy. But no, really though, a lot of guys are Fred Sanford, and you got to understand that. A lot of people take joy in trash, whether it's a self-esteem issue, whether it's a whatever it is. But like, I love me some trash. Pigs love to wallow in mud, and unfortunately, or fortunately for those women, that's what some guys do. Horace, you are correct. Once it's trash, and us guys kind of know because the same way women share information about prospect of men, men do the same thing with women. So that happens, and you have some guys that have their bar set so low that trash was eureka for them. And in the words of Pops, there's a pot for every top. When I found that man has found his top, who am I? Because I'm not God, so I'm not judgmental. I just say, I turn my nose up and I say, couldn't be me. Because you are right, Chris. Men don't drop treasures. When a man has a treasure, he know it. He got to get booted out. They got to beat that man out with a broom for him to drop that treasure. But a lot of y'all think that y'all treasure, and you were treasure. You wouldn't have let go. But
Y'all
what
ain't
do I
never
know?
lost. Y'all ain't never lost a woman that you say, "Damn, boy, I had the one. I had a good
What
chick."
Chris said? Chris
Absolutely.
said, I think that you escaped. What you say? I think you dodged. What you said, Chris?
Dodge the bullet.
Dodge a bullet.
Chris,
Yes,
Dodge
I've
a
lost
bullet.
women, valuable women. But I didn't tell them, hey, you got to go. You're too valuable, or you got to go. I don't want you. You're too much of a treasure. I was fucking up, and she walked out. That's just it. I didn't loop. I didn't drop her. I didn't refuse a treasure. That
You
to
kept her.
me, that's saying I have a treasure. I know I have a treasure, and I'm gonna just throw it back in the ocean so somebody else can catch it. That's
Says no one ever.
says no one ever to me.
So when
But
you get
when you
rid of her,
hear,
she's not trash?
Huh?
he's saying he never got rid of her. She got rid of him.
Yeah, she got rid of me. That's what I think. That's what treasures
Men
do.
don't
They
drop
leave
treasures.
you because you're mishandling them.
I don't know. Listen, I done met a woman that a dude treated like trash, and she turned out to be a treasure. And you find yourself be like, boy, that nigga that's dumb as hell. Not the same thing?
That whatever floats your
Gotta
boat.
ask his point of view with
Yeah.
her.
What?
His point of view with her. Something was awry.
Whatever. Super Mario, make sense of it all.
Well, you ever heard of chitlins?
Amazing.
Who?
Have you ever heard of chitlins? Chitterlings, however you want to say them. Have you ever heard of them? I've seen a lot of people enjoy them. A
I
lot of
used to
people
eat
act like those are delicacies. It's trash.
I used to eat.
A lot of people make those treasures. So
I'm not that
there's
smart no
people
more.
who say we're not going to eat this part of the pig, throw it away. And people made it a household in an urban community treasure. So I think black people. I'm gonna tell you some other stuff that black people are loaded to as treasures. That was trash. That somebody else might look at trash. I've seen people say, "Man, I'm tired of this house, ragged ass house. I'm gonna go get me another one." And somebody puts it on the market, and somebody buys that ragged ass house and loves it. Loves it. Same thing with a car, and loves it. So I think to say that somebody else can't find value in something that somebody else can, because treasure and trash is perspective. Because at the end of the day, you got to understand what you value. So treasure come off of value. You set value in your life off of your perspective. So your perspective might be wrong. Like right now, it's no way you're gonna tell me that somebody who understands the worth of something at different ages in their life, you can mess it up and you can lose something because you're not ready to receive it. I just have to believe that. It don't have to do it just women, just everything. I believe that some people can get stuff that's too fast or too ahead of them, and then they'll lose it. And then somebody else can pick it up who is needing it and wanting it, and then they'll value it. Because you know why? I heard so many men say, "Damn, I lost a good one. Damn, I fucked up." If I didn't hear that, then I have to agree with Chris. But so many times over the years, I see older guys sit back and say, "Damn, man, I let a good one go. The love of my life, I lost it back in '82." So hindsight is 2020. And when I see one thing I've learned in my last days, that when I sit around older people, I see them reflect on life. And I talk to a lot of older men right now. And one thing I hear a lot of older men talk about is time and the women they lost. That's consistent. If you ever sit around an older man, I don't care if he's married or single, he's going to talk about the women he lost and time that he bullshitted. So that tells me to respect the women I got and value my goddamn time. Because that's a consistent. Some of them going to talk about the money, some of them going to talk about the kids. But there's two things consistent. If you ever talk to an older man, it's two things. So I think that, of course, now I agree with the premise of what Chris was saying. I understand. So I'm not going to sit here and say like I don't understand what he's saying. And he's saying that a lot of times women think they're treasures and they're nothing but trash. And because a man loses them, then another man picks them up. That doesn't mean that you're a treasure. Because another man pick you up and values you, don't mean that you got any better than the man was when you lost. Because sometimes in that same situation, that man who pick you up, he doesn't know value when he see it. So I don't want a lot of people to get into the assumption that I'm saying if this one man sees you as trash and this other man picks you up and treats you like gold, that automatically means you're a treasure. No, my sister. Treasure is treasure. I agree with that part right there, but I do believe you can lose it. So I agree with some of what my guests have said. And, I have a slight different opinion on the losing of it. But I do believe that you can be trash and somebody else will think you treasure too.
Yeah.
Well, first I want to tell Amber Walton, you team Horace now. So at one of those comments, it should have said, I agree with Horace or applause or something. That's how it works over on Team Horace. Now,
well, let me say one more thing. I think it's more trash women that think they're treasure than actually treasures getting lost and mistaken for trash. I say that too.
I believe that.
I just think it's a lot of Fred G. Sanfords. I seen Fred G. Sanford take junk and make a kingdom out of it.
I see it
It
all the
doesn't
time.
change the fact that it's junk. It's just he was able to make a kingdom out of it. You can still be trash. Somebody can come along and see value and make it profitable for him. That's fine. I'm not denying that. I'm denying that you are a treasure because what I've seen people do with treasures, especially men, they take care of treasures. They just do.
Okay.
You give a man a hoopty, he's gonna act a different way than if you give him Maybach. It's just gonna be different. He's just gonna treat it differently. So that's just me.
I just seen a man put a truck bed on a Dodge Challenger.
Oh yeah.
I beg to differ, Chris. I've seen men fuck up treasures. Totally destroy them. I've seen Rome was killed. Men. Caesar, man. The man who crucified Jesus, men. Jesus was a treasure to the world. I seen a man fuck up a treasure. I'm just saying, I just feel like
he's gonna get us Jamie Foxx. Thanks a lot.
Well, listen, for everybody that thought I was doing good tonight, I'm about to ruin it. Listen, in my 20s, I dated a girl whose box was trash. The next nigga she dated put 3 kids in her. So value is dictated by the owner or the leasee. I thought it was trash. She put 3 kids in it. So
again, that's another thing. You're saying value is in the eye of the buyer. So that means the seller cannot put value on it. They can only put a price. So when you're telling men what you deserve, what you're supposed to get, the buyer sets the value, not the seller. The seller only sets the price.
Yeah, the leverage is in the buyer, but only if you know the need. That's why I always say, if a man say he doesn't want to be married, he loses his leverage.
Interesting.
If you walk up to me and saying how much I have your dream car, you couldn't wait. You would die without this car. As a seller, I know I got you.
Oh, listen, the angry one is in the comments. Or were you trash? said no one ever.
She's supposed to put Teen Horace after that.
Yeah. So you keep on taking your shot tonight. Your ass gonna disappear off this goddamn screen. I'm not having your shit tonight. All right. Hey, Mario, you had a question for the group, especially the one with the white teeth up here, showing all his teeth tonight. Talk to me.
Yeah, I want to know what's the purpose. I seen this. Before I let me give you some context on my question. I seen me and my wife was watching a movie and a girl was up. They were casually dating, her and this dude, and they really liked each other. And then he said, I want to see you on Friday. He said, let's do Saturday. She joked and said, what, you got another date or something? He was like, yeah, but that ain't no problem, right? And she was like, oh no, it's not a problem. He was like, so you dating other people? He was like, yeah, ain't you? Like, we dating. Like, what's the problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem? Like, yeah, but we don't need to talk about that. We can see each other Saturday. There's no problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they went on and was talking about like how she felt upset because they was dating and he was dating somebody else. And I was like talking to my wife and I was like, that's crazy how women actually think after like a month of dating somebody, you met him under the assumption he looks good or you're attracted to him. So he had to have some kind of group of women because we're grown. But under a week of chilling and vibing, months, maybe 2 months of vibing, chilling, and getting to know each other, you actually think that he's just let every woman in his life go to focus on you with no title, with no commitment, with no talk, with no conversation. It's just you and him now because y'all spend a lot of days in a row together or y'all actually connect or have an attraction to each other. So then it came to the point of, I was like, people value marriage somewhat, right? And most people will say you're single until you're married. So when you're grown, I want to know 2-part question. Do you find a value in having a girlfriend? And if you do, what's the point? If people gonna still say you're not married, it doesn't matter until you're married. So what's the point of having a girlfriend when you're older, when you're an adult? And if it is a point that like I want to know, like, what's the value in it? Like, why would you have a girlfriend if it really technically doesn't matter? Life don't matter until you get, you know what I'm saying, until you get married. I want to know from y'all.
That's interesting because to me, if I'm having sex with somebody and I'm raw and like this is my one on one, that's a girlfriend for me. All right, so I ain't saying dating because dating is me still putting on turkey bags. So that's just my interpretation of it. I think if you're just dating is dating. But if I have that exclusiveness, that's what I get teased for that all the time. If I'm hitting somebody raw, that's almost like marriage for me because I'm putting my whole life in her box, you know. And that still don't mean shit in this era, but once you find somebody you trust, you kind of putting your life in their hands. So I ain't really got no answer for that, Mario. Give it to the other two single guys. Chris
Um,
Leo.
okay, for me personally, I think that again, I remember I I define relationship in a certain way. I think that there's criteria to it. I believe that you either cohabitating with someone, you got someone pregnant, or you have had a conversation with your child about that person. That's what I think considered a relationship. At least two out of three. But what I believe is there's a difference between dating, relationships, and marriage. I think there's a hierarchy. I believe that dating is a selfish act. I'm looking for what I like, what I want, what makes me feel good. Both parties is entering this as in a selfish way. I think a relationship is about the other person. Relationship is about how can I make your life better? How can I add to your life and improve your life, and vice versa? That's what a relationship should be about. Two people trying to do what's best for each other. Now, a marriage, I believe, which I don't have any experience on, but I believe a marriage is about us and everything around us. We create a network of two families, two sets of friends. That's supposed to give us power. That's what marriage is supposed to do, and it's supposed to mean the decisions that we make in this. We know that it affects more than just us. That's why I think that a marriage is about a us thing. So for me personally, I think what scares a lot of men, and I don't want to say scared, what pushes a lot of men off is that there's no separation between the two. And I think that's kind of like what you're saying. We just started kicking it. For most men, that is the best part. That's the best part of the relationship is she's the most cooperative. She gives it up freely. So we love that position. The problem is in that same time, the women want us under the same restrictions as a relationship and or marriage. And then when we get in a relationship, the restrictions are the same as a marriage. So the thing is, I just met you 2 months ago. Yes, we're screwing. Yes, we're hanging out. You're putting the same restrictions and the same requirement and the same prerequisite on me as a husband, and we're just not there yet. I think that so going back to what you said, at a certain age, no, we shouldn't be saying my girlfriend or boyfriend. If you introduce that woman to your homeboys or your family, just that's your lady. Now, some people don't think there's a difference, but I feel that there's a difference between saying someone is your lady and your girlfriend. Your lady is a representation of you. Your girlfriend is just the person that you're dealing with. But the lady, to me, says a lot more. So I don't know if that exactly answers the question, but that's just what I got for it.
Well, I know what answer I've been waiting on, and I want to hear it. I don't want no y'all
Just
all
come to
summed
church,
it up.
man. Stop goddamn yapping and come to church.
Hey
Jesus
man,
Christ.
listen, I don't want no BS answer.
Listen,
Oh, these are all good answers.
hey man,
Hey, you
hey
guys summed
man.
it up.
You know why you never learn? Because you always running that thing under your nose and over your chin. I need you to understand. I have this conversation with Hardy all the time. So this is interesting that
Here
he
we
actually
go.
brought it to the forefront. Um, I actually felt like that. I actually felt like I'm going to date because what Amber alluded to is correct. Until you're married, you're single. So I had the notion that I'll date and then one day I'm gonna pop up married. But conversations with my brother Reason, he said, Zay, when you carry yourself in that manner, it leaves you open. It leaves a gray area because you don't have anything to hold you accountable. Damn, I ain't think about it like that, but you're right. You feel me? So, Chris, I agree with you too. I don't like that girlfriend term. I think it's very juvenile. You understand what I'm saying? If it's who I'm rocking with, then that's my lady, like you said. And that's who you're gonna see me with. That's who you're gonna see me investing my time with, things of that nature. I'm saying all that to say this. It does come a time where you do have to hold yourself accountable, right? So you're gonna have to put a title on it. What you title it as is whatever you title it as. That's what's gonna be the benefit because that's what's going to make that transition, I think that you were talking about, Chris, come to fruition. Because how are you gonna be married if you're gonna go straight dating to marriage? You have no at it, so to speak. But once you get in the groove of this, my lady, and there's certain things I'm not gonna do, and you take away that gray area, then it forms you up for what you're getting ready for, which is ultimately marriage, if that's the direction that you choose to go. Now, if you're not going that way and you just want to live out here, uh, player, viva la player, then by all means, just like chicken wings and fries. We don't go on dates. That's what we are. You know what we are. What are we? Bump, bump, bump. We're farmers. Whatever you tell them, whatever works for you. But if you're trending towards marriage, you do have to figure out how you're going to hold yourself accountable. You can make those gradual steps to where you need to be. If you're not transitioning that way, then no, you'll never ever put a title on it. You'll forever date because you're just gonna be out here, and it's okay. So that's for the individuals that want to be a player. It's all right, own it, stand up on it. And if you don't, then you got to have some serious conversations with yourself. Like Hardy said, we went on a few dates or whatever the case may be. Come back to that table, figure out what we're doing, so that you can start changing the course of direction in which you're trying to go and grab grab that traction, so that you can get to your goal. That's how I see that. But I hope that answered your question, Horace. If you want
Nope.
some private tutoring, you can cash at me and I'll meet you. You can learn.
Zay, I will start drinking before I ask you to private tutor me on
You
anything.
drink? Nah.
Listen,
That don't count.
popping up, Valu, popping up married sound like a plan.
You better
What
know it.
what is
Shock the
the
world.
space? What is the space before popping up married look like? Because just popping up married don't sound responsible at all. Just popping up married sound like a plan. Like what happened before popping up? Like was I just winging it? Did I go to Vegas and have a weekend? Did I be like, man,
Couples
I've
got
been
to
dealing
know
with
each
this chick
other,
the
man.
most. I'm just gonna choose you and make it what it is.
You know, another reason why I asked that question, but a lot of y'all gave me some good answers too. I must say that too. I want to say that. I think it's because of the how I look at it, how I view it is this. Well, now that I'm married, right, and I understand what marriage is, and I felt like having a girlfriend, like being in a monogamous relationship and agreeing to that, to me is one of the biggest steps of marriage. So it's like you're giving that away before you even say I do, before you give somebody your last name, right? Because as a man, we can't bullshit. Like one of the hardest things you're gonna do that's an ongoing thing about marriage is what? Being committed. It's being faithful. Like that's a hard thing for most men to do. So to say that's a girlfriend, most girlfriends or ladies have that's semantics, or whatever you want to call them, want you to be monogamous. So that's one of the hardest things for a man to do. But you getting that before you get married. So then it's like, so now I hear so many people when I talk to people about relationships say, "Oh, we don't need no title." Amber alluded to it don't matter until you get married. See, I love when women say those things. I love it. That goes back to my Derrick Jackson thing. I'm done fighting the good fight. I love women say that because that's when you just keep losing leverage. Because then when dudes never do nothing, never call you nothing, never introduce you into things, we can always say, it don't matter what I call you because we're not married, right? But that's the most naive thing to say because it has to take steps for any man to get married. You can't just pop a man who has been practicing all his life has the ability to get women, juggle women, and like Chris said, manipulate the dating scene. Can't just say one morning, she the one, wake up, and then just marry. And you think that he's gonna be great at that overnight. That's just, but it's so great. And that's again, it joys my soul. When I hear women use those cliche lines like, it don't matter, we don't need no title. I know he love me. I love it. It make my spine tingle when I hear that. Cause I know that man who she with, he's gonna win the battle. And then one more thing, Chris, I'm gonna let you. And I love it when a woman say, "Oh, it don't matter. I don't care if he's my boyfriend because I know this and I know that and I know this." Them gray areas, I love them because as a former player who hung up his jacket, oh man, I did numbers in them gray areas. That gray area is where I dwelled at. See, I performed so eloquently in those gray areas till it was like an orchestra, and I was the maestro because the gray areas of the play saving grace. And I love it when women just open the door to the gray area and think it's some kind of sisterhood or strong badge that I don't need this. I don't take that. I know what's going on. Oh, I love it. I love it because I see my homeboys sit back and I just look at them and I just smile. And I didn't see them, and they'd be like, "Well, then I get a call and say, well, I don't know why he doing like this." Oh, my sister, remember, it doesn't matter until you're married. So no matter what he does to you before he's married, it doesn't matter. You don't need a title because you know.
Now you don't.
There you go, Baloo.
Chris,
That's a lie.
I want to first off say, Chris,
Don't.
your thesis on the beginning of the conversation, I agree with you. I thought it was one of your most brilliant takes in a long time when you puts the emphasis on lady and girlfriend, and then you talked about dating, relationships, marriage. I think that was one of your best segments, bro. It was groundbreaking. And then when I see toxic people like my friend Valu, I say I'm going to send it back to them so we can understand, you know. But
Hold up, Hardy. He said something about Baloo.
Yeah, watch yourself.
I agree.
I can't go no blue slander on this show. Even though I understand you have a grounds for your slander, but I just can't go for it. I cannot stand up for blue slander on this show. Even because see what she said is, and I love it. When she said we might love the gray area.
They do.
Oh, yes, I love it. I love it when y'all love it. I love it when y'all love it. Because man, the player dwells there. Every player from the Himalaya loves the gray area. So you keep dwelling there, my sister. Thrive.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Mario. It is semantics. But I think that sometimes semantics matter. I parlay that on with saying I remember when I used to refer to you guys as my nigga. I remember that, or my dog. I remember that.
Yeah.
So yes, my nigga, my dog is the same as my brother. It just for when I say my brother, it's just a different feel. It's just it's a respect level, it's a different reverence to it. It is semantics, but it's different. Same thing with girlfriend. When I was in the 6th grade, that's when I had girlfriends. When I started calling somebody, this is my lady, and if you down south, especially Florida, when you put the OL in front of it, OL apostrophe in front of it, that's when you really, really mean business. So when you go to your uncle and say, "Oh yeah, this is my old lady," you go to your brother, say, "This is your old lady." That was a totally different. Now it's true, semantics. It is same as girlfriend, but I think when you say that, you treat it differently. That's what I'm saying.
And
hey,
I'm saying,
PJ, man. PJ on the roll
that.
in the comment section, but man.
Because I get that, but I believe that most people do believe, honestly, it doesn't technically matter until you're married. You see what I'm saying? And I think that verbiage right there is what's killing the dating scene. Because what you alluded to, Chris, is the progression to growth and understanding of that person, your partner. Because one of the things you alluded to is it went from I to us. That's a progression. Every man needs that progression. So when you step out and they say nothing matters until you get married, but bro, that's just naive to say that, because it has to matter. And most men who actually dated women, bro, we need that time period for growth. We need that. Like women, I can't speak to y'all, but as a man, you need that. I'm kind of digging her. Yeah, I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna take my roster down. Yeah, I'm kind of chilling with her more. Hey, I'm gonna introduce her to my friends. Like Chris said, this is my lady. You start throwing it out there. This is my lady. Then you start coming up the barbecue saying, "Yeah, this is my old lady." Like this is my. Now you start putting your chest out to it. The next thing you know, you start talking about marriage. Then you marry, and then it's a progression. So when people just say, "Oh yeah, that just it don't matter," it do matter, and that's why men is thriving in the gray area.
Hey, Mario, Valu, put that up what Valu said. Women love the gray area. I
no,
think she right. 40 Shades
Listen,
of Grey was a very top seller for them. And like you said, Mario, as they making that progression, they got to go through them 40 Shades of Grey to get to the promised land.
I
So
got
shout
one.
out to Velouz for bringing that to the attention
No,
of us at the Black Super Friends podcast.
but Lewis tested me and Mario relationship tonight because so many titles and people still cheating. Wouldn't the hell is titles? I could tell you a kangaroo. Does that make you a kangaroo? Like, I don't know. It's just
But
like
see,
the
cheating is
stickiness.
semantic.
Whatever you like, master.
No, cheating is
Bruh.
semantics too. Because cheating don't really matter. It's not cheating until you what? Broke a covenant with God until you married. See, that's what I'm saying. See, that's what happens when you play those dirty games. That's when you keep saying it doesn't matter to marriage, then that cheating word that women throw and weaponize so much goes out the window too. Because technically we're not cheating because we haven't broke a covenant. And the covenant was not a lie told that we agreed in the beyond of God to be together forever. That was not. You don't tell your old lady that, your lady that, or your girlfriend that. That's a covenant being broke. So you technically ain't cheating.
So I'm not cheating if I cheat on my girlfriend.
No. Because anybody who believes that it doesn't matter, I'm saying for anybody who believes that it doesn't matter until married, they should never be able to say nobody's cheated on them unless it was their husband. That's what I'm saying.
I just feel like if it's a negotiated title, then it doesn't matter. As for a man, I'm only speaking on a man's perspective. It matters what you call her, because what you call her is how you're going to treat her. So if you had to negotiate a title where she stepped to you and you said, "What are we?" and you said that's your, you my girlfriend. That's negotiating. When you start out of the blue saying, "Oh no, this is my lady, this is my old lady," when you didn't rationalize that in your head, then you should, not saying that you definitely will, but you should start taking it a little bit seriously. I think what happens is most guys get muscled into titles, and they have to negotiate titles, and that those are frivolous when you negotiate it. It's what you call her, because you're going to have this progression yourself. You're gonna, when you first meet us, you go, "Oh yeah, my little thing over there." You're gonna have different names for her. Eventually, she's gonna get down to your lady. And I think that when you start calling start calling her your lady, and you're a stand-up dude, you're gonna start treating her that way. And that is the only time that you're gonna start thinking if she could be a wife, is when you have decided that she is your lady. You said that to yourself.
And that's when you hit her with the what's understood don't need to be said.
Great.
Exactly. Boy, you are a great student, Horace. That's exactly what you hit him with that one. Bam.
So, I swear to God.
Right in the kisser.
Boy, I
think that I took cheating serious at marriage.
Oh my
I think
God.
that most honorable people, because I agree with Chris, like, you know what I'm saying, your feelings and your actions though can be somewhat different, because I think your treatment of a woman, I agree, you're gonna treat a woman that you care about different. But I don't believe, like we talked about cheating on the last show, I don't believe that cheating should be the end all. You know what I'm saying? I feel we talked about the last show about it's breaking a promise, a breaking of trust. But to me, that's marriage. Like if my wife cheats on me, then you signed this contract, like you were in it with me. But I think that even if you my old lady, I can kind of get over it a little bit better than I think that next step.
You know what's cheating to me? If I'm coming and we are colliding bodies and I pump my joy juice into your pool, and you allow another individual to put their joy juice in your pool, yes, that's cheating, because you're cheating yourself out of exclusive time with me. Why would you do such a thing? If you with me and you choose to add somebody to the party, you're definitely a cheater.
Well,
I'm
Horace,
sorry.
it's a nasty world.
You don't want nothing out of life.
It's very nasty.
It's a nasty world out here. I think that's just a quick $50 and an extra $10 tip, and you can do all the things you just named.
Cause money make the world go round nowadays, my brother.
Oh, I did it. Listen, Amber, you starting to show yourself now. All right, you starting tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. Okay, you can change your life.
You need another general manager if she on your team.
Hey, bro, I've never seen such disrespect in my life. You know what I mean? She tuned in every week just to insult me. She done threw a tomato at the screen and everything. I don't know. At least Valu is toxic in the comments. Amber just don't know how to act. You get what I'm saying?
I wish Hardy left this Valu's band because I just want to outfit her. And especially I've been a wife and a old. I'm gonna leave it alone.
I already put down
out of respect for my dog, Valu's. I'm gonna leave this shit alone. But I can't see you nowhere in the street. I'm gonna give it to you. I promise you when I see you.
Oh man, boy, PJ, stay strong, my brother. You are the prize, and the hunt is on. Okay, brother. Amber's a Sagittarius. If you ain't a Leo, you ain't ready. That's a whole another show. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'll be getting all kind of hate mail tomorrow for this show as usual, but I thought it was very productive.
We did. I think thank y'all for answering that, man. You know, I really wanted because sometimes I live vicariously through y'all, and then y'all keep me abreast of what's going on. I just don't see no value in having a girlfriend no more because it seems like it's not necessary. Because nobody really cares. Like when I was dating, women still gave a damn about being called an old lady. Like Chris saying, like that meant something to some women because they know, like, if a man call you that, then he probably really values me. But now I hear so many women saying, I don't care nothing about no title. None of that shit matter. That's my boo. I'm like, well, damn, you sound like one of my dogs. Oh, hey, party over here then. That's crazy shit.
Mario, that's a defense mechanism because the reality is it's the fourth quarter for a lot of people. So nobody want to realize that shit. I'm talking about everybody else. I might miss the bus. So let me go ahead and get that deflection. But I'm really, whatever bus gonna take me, I'm hopping on that joker.
And that's what I love to, and this is my petty moment. I love when people say stuff they don't mean, because I damn sure make them stand on it. I'm gonna make you stand on it till your knees buckle. When you say shit I know you don't mean and you just talking, I'm gonna make you stand on it. When that's why I love when I hear women who I know really love, or really feel they are real, or really want to be a wife. I love when I know that they are that person, and I hear them say shit like, "Man, I don't matter. You know, we all out here." And I love it. Cause I know some young fella finna come along and finna put up 40 in the gray area. 40, what? 40 and 40. He gonna have a triple double every night in that gray area, and it's gonna tear her apart. And she gonna have to put her makeup on, crying in the mirror, and try to hold face because you're trying to be something that you're not. It's just saying, "No, I want a man to value me. Like, it matters. Like, I want somebody to care about me. Like, I don't give a damn. I believe in love. I want to be a wife." Instead of saying that, it don't matter. I love it here. But I hope you
listen. That's why amazing when you see. If you look at social media, you see groups of girls, and I know about 3 or 4 groups of them. They be about 6, 8 deep, and they just partying like we don't need no man, and that ain't the truth. They go home mad as hell. They get drunk to soak up this time where, bitch, I'm really not on nobody's roster, and I'm probably not gonna win a ring.
Or know what, Tootie? Know what the best one is for me? I'm gonna let it go. It's the best one. Oh, see how happy I get when I tell this one. I love it when you see them 6, right? And 2 of them get a man, right? And then 2 of the men go along on the trips with them. And then now the other ones who was, we don't need it. All the single ladies, now they booed up. And then now then 4 of them get a man. And now it's just 2 out there without no man. And all 4 of them they going on bay trips and all that. And they just there. Oh, I love it. I love it when I turn on the internet and I see the 5 single ladies turning to 4 wiped up and one just on the trip by themselves with all the money, all the fame, all the allure, and a nail man in sight. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, dude. I love it. It's nothing. I feel like Uncle Ruckus died in my soul. Oh, I love it.
But the thing is, they seem to sort themselves out. If you look at the pictures, they tend to go to the left. Couples tend to go to the right. They know they're gonna get cropped out of that picture. That's why they all link up over here. They couples link up over here. So when it's time to crop, you know what time it is.
Oh, it's lovely.
I think the paranoia, to go back to it, I think the paranoia with men is that woman is worried about the thing, not the person. We're titling you, not the relationship. We're titling you. The relationship is one thing, but it's secondary to you. That's why I think it's most important That's why I think it's most important for you to title her as a person, not the situation that y'all in.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's still a hierarchy when it comes to relationships. So the name and the title still always has to come from the man. Like I agree with Chris. It's not real unless it comes from him. You can't be bartered into or brokered into a deal on relationships. If a man don't find value in you and name you something, then it's really just not in void. He just saying that to continuously hit. Let's just be realistic. Because when he finds value, he definitely treats you better.
Well, Lou, there's a difference when you see a pack of dudes together and you see a pack of women together.
We
Dudes are on the hunt.
Yeah, like you ever seen a pack of goddamn hyenas or coyotes?
Yeah. No, it's a difference when you see a pack of wolves and a pack of sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, when you see us overseas, the pick's gonna be minimal because what's going on.
If you really win.
So you ain't gonna see nothing but just drip shots and shit like that. After the sun go down, no more 0 dark 30.
Yeah, everybody sleep.
Yeah, we can't buy some.
Yeah, interesting, man. Listen, that was my last topic. I gotta give y'all something, man, that's gonna be interesting. Listen, next week I'm gonna discuss something that I picked up on today. I always say this to my friend. I say, hey, I failed as a father, you know. So one son already said that he's expecting a baby. My other son calls me and his baby mama. Shout out to my baby mama. We roasted the shit out of our son on FaceTime. He calls us like we're gonna be excited. Hey, I got great news, guys. We're gonna be excited. You're gonna be grandparents. And we roasted the shit out of him. Like, bro, we still take care of you. How did you think this was gonna be some great enjoyment for us? Like, you just moved out 3 weeks ago and you didn't win and shot up a club. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, one thing I can say, well, in true horse form, they following their daddy's shoot though, because they some shooters.
They are.
Y'all are some shooters. Town, well, I can say y'all really go to town.
What I will say to both of those young men is they are at this point in time. I don't know what's going on in the future, but those young men are accepting their responsibilities. Shout out to Tyler. Tyler is accepting his responsibilities and taking it on and trying to make a future for his child. I don't know what Kendall's gonna do, but I think that he's gonna make a great father. Hopefully he makes a great father, and I know he's gonna take the necessary steps that he need to take to become a great father. So say what you want, but those two young men prioritize fatherhood.
And guess what? I'm gonna make damn sure. I'm gonna make sure they're gonna be good fathers. Cause I didn't have no granddaddy to help me with my children. So, but that wasn't my point. My point was I was talking to somebody the other day, bro, and I recognized something. We'll bring it back next week. So, I was talking to somebody about something frivolous, and they were like, "You so harsh." I was like, I gave it to him simple, right? And then one of my sons was like, "I try to talk to you, but you kind of harsh." And I'm like, "Bro, I'm just giving it to you, you know, like straight up. I don't know how to BS you, right?" And the reality was, I thought about it. My Big Norman was rough. That mother was harsh. He's Brillo pad. My Harsh Towns, rough, abrasive. They'll tell you, Buck Towns, to the day he left, rough, abrasive. You know what I mean? His dad, rough and abrasive. And I was like, no, I never took time to reflect to see, like, damn, that's kind of like something that I didn't kind of, maybe it's in my DNA or something I didn't got passed down from my father. So that's something I got to work on as far as being a father. Because my dad was like that, my granddad was like that. And it's like sometimes you have things you don't even recognize that you carrying down. So I just think it's always go ahead and have an audit of, you know, your character and think about some stuff that people say and see if it has validity to it. Chris Leo.
What was your dad's occupation?
Which one?
Yeah. Horace was a pimp. When I was a kid, he was a real life pimp. Then he sold drugs, and then he worked on he worked at the country club with my granddad. You know what I mean?
Big Norm.
But
Big Norm.
Listen, Bitten
Again,
on
all,
that
all
tree.
I'm trying to show you is throughout the generation, harsh men has produced good men. They say hard
I get that.
times.
It's good.
This is what it is. So we got to be unapologetic for being harsh. No one can tell you that I don't love you, but I don't care about you calling me harsh because what I've seen is harsh men produce great men. So I don't give a shit. Let women talk about that therapy bullshit. I don't want to call it bullshit, but I just did. But no, I think harsh men. That's what harsh men do. It's a harsh world, and they have to create harsh, strong, prepared men. And I don't have no problem against harsh men, especially fathers.
Yeah, I guess
You
that was part of the conversation too. Like when I told y'all last week, my dad can only give me what he had, and I thought about it like that's how I was raised. That's how somebody else was raised. So it is a moment to reflect and say, like, man, they say I'm harsh, and I thought I'm a loving person and all that stuff, but
How you is?
But
as
you
we
are. But that's the crazy part about it, though. And I think when we talk about that, because you are right, Chris, in what you said, and Horace, and I'm glad that you made that realization with yourself. You need both components, and I speak about that so much when we're on here about the unity. You need both components. Mothers are the nurturers, and the homemakers that make the men or that we're growing up understand certain things, why it has to be like this, or coddle them after we've had to be very forceful with them, so for them to understand it, so that they can get back on that path. But it takes both, and that's that equally yoked, because the mindset's got to be together that I'm going to put in this young man what he needs to survive. You got to take care of how he feels. I don't know how to do that. And that's what you're essentially saying, Horace. But until we get those components together, you're going to have the men saying that I got it this way, the women saying that they got it this way, and the child that's stuck in the middle, not losing on one side or the other if they're either not getting enough compassion and not getting enough straightening or real talk. And both of those things will make a child crack in his real life. So those are some things that not just you, Horace, got to recognize, but both women and men got to understand who they are and what they mean to these ones that are coming up, and pour those pieces into them.
hold up, Chris. I would say that 300, the movie 300 had an interesting point that I always use when I talk to women. I think at age 5 or 8, how they would take that young boy and they would send him off into the wilderness before he could become a soldier. I always try to explain that to my son's mother. Like, I love my son. I do. I die for him. That's one of the men I want to see greater than me. But I want to raise a son that's. I know this boy one day is going to be a father. He's gonna be a man. He might even be the man that help take care of you. So I'm trying. My whole effort is to make sure I create a man in this world that's trying to make men turn into women. I don't even know why you got gender reveals right now. When at age 15, they might come and say I identify as something else. But
Some bullshit.
that was the thing. So I think I like Chris for backing me up on that, because you kind of evaluate, like, bro, like, this is a man. I want women to understand, like, you can love him and stuff, but this same boy one day got to be a man, and you're gonna depend on him to be a man. And if you don't produce a man, now you still got a dependent. You still got a boy, and you kind of robbing him. But Chris Leo,
Uh, put up. Can you put up? It's double hall post. I I'd have to respectfully disagree. I don't think that. I think that that's what feminism has done to us is tell us that we got to have a balance of feminine. No, no, you don't have. Don't masculinity tells men not to harm women. Masculinity tells men to protect women and provide for women. That's what masculinity already does. We don't need to drop extra feminism in the pot. We don't need to be more feminine. Masculinity takes care of all of it. If you just accept masculinity, because there's no masculine man gonna tell you dominate women. There's no masculine man gonna tell you sexually objectify women. There's masculinity does not do that. So I get what he's saying, but I just do not agree that we need that. I think the world is pushing that on us, and the more they push feminizing, trying to feminize us, the worse men get. And we need strong, abrasive men that cares about people, that's willing enough to tell them the truth, even when they screwing up. That's willing to sacrifice kids liking them to make sure that they go off to the army to provide for their family forever. That's what I think. So that's just how I feel on that.
Yeah, Miss Gandhi, I'm trying to follow that. We got men out here that's my princess. I think you saying what I'm saying. I don't think people see that what has to happen inside the nucleus of a young man at an early age. I argue with one of my homegirls who had a kid who every time I see him, she taking him on trips. You know, they're going out of the country. He came to a party. She won't let him get dirty. He had on his $300 boots and the outfit. I'm like, the boy just want to go out there and play in the mud with the rest of the kids. And then one day you're gonna find a guy and you're gonna abandon him, or that's how it's gonna feel. But like, I know y'all can't understand from the male perspective what we happen or even how we communicate, because there was a lot of things Big Norm did when I was older that I hated and I regret it, but I end up now appreciating because it kind of sparked something in me. And I always say you don't know what's in a dude until he hit that bottom, until he hit the ground. You can raise your kid, and you ain't gonna know what. Look at Michael Jordan. I know he loved his kids to death, but he damn sure envisioned that he was gonna have another Michael Jordan Jr. and he wanted him to be a player, and he ain't a player or a player because he got that. I ain't gonna talk about that in other news, but Super Mario, you got anything before we close on that?
Nah, I'm totally against everything you just said. So I ain't want to beat a dead horse. I don't believe in no letting up in no kind of way, ever possible, ever stopping, slowing down. I'm full course pressure on my boys to never. That's what they mama for. That's what they grandma for. All the other women who gonna blow smoke up their butt, who gonna praise them and all that. I'm here to make them get up at 5 to run the extra lap, to do the extra push up. I'm not. My son right now just told me the other day, Dad, you always mean. I say, because you're always hard headed. Now get your ass in there, clean them toys up. Like I don't care how you feel about me, because I love you, because I die for you, because I take all the money and I'm saving it for you. I'm not buying stuff I want because I'm doing that for you. So because you don't think I'm saying it in the nicest manner, or because you think you're a man enough to have a baby, but you're not man enough to come face me as your daddy and have a conversation with me, I'm supposed to alter who I am as a man. I can't do that. No. That don't make no sense. Like, it's hard to talk to you. I'm your daddy, boy. It's a lot of stuff you're going to have to do in life that's hard. Put on your big boy drawers and boots, put up your shoulders, and go do it. That's what men do. So I'm not going to come down and make it easier for you to be a man. Be a man, period. It's always going to be hard to talk to me. You know why? Because like you said, Horace, you're doing a damn great job. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am going to be, why I'm going to be the hardest person to talk to? Because I want you to be the best person in this world. I want you to be better than I ever was. I want you to excel beyond measures. So every time you talk to me, I'm going to tell you what the world is going to really be like. Hard, fair, unfair, nothing. I'm going to give you the real. And that's what a daddy does till I die. And one thing for sure, when I go, you're going to say, my daddy loved me and I respected him. Sometimes I didn't like him. Sometimes I got tired of hearing his voice. Sometimes I even hated to see him walk in. But he loved me and he kept it real. And bro, that's why I don't give a damn. I don't worry about feelings because they're not real. So I don't worry about what you say. Even with my daughter, dog. Jaleesa always say I talk harsh with my daughter, but see, I want my daughter to be a good wife, strong, a good mother. See, my values speak in me. So when she be doing knucklehead stuff, I said, no, that's knucklehead stuff. I love you, my baby. You my first everything. But that's stupid shit you do. And I'm not going to say, well, poo-poo, if you perhaps do it this way and do it. No, this is not the world we live in. That's why people don't know what bathroom to go in. That's why the world's so finicky now, because you can't just say, this is what it is. This is what it is. I'm sorry if you don't like it. This is what it is. Bro, I'm sorry, bro. Bro, Tony, you get up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning and drive to work. That's what it is, bro. You fill out the application. I don't give a damn that you don't want to go at 5. You go at 5, man. That's what it is. And don't worry about it. Just keep doing it. No, bro, get your ass up at 4:40. Yeah, do a push-up, get you some oatmeal, get in your truck and go to work. That's what men do. That's who I am. And that's what's wrong with the world, bro. We're crossing these roads too much because this and this, bro. We're equipped to do a certain amount of things as men. We excel when we're operating in our uniqueness. We're unique. But when we start trying to cross roads and go over into boundaries and cross over into stuff that we don't really know how, I'm not saying we can't do it, but we want to excel them. So let's excel at what we know how to do. Be a man. Nigga, you are a man. Everybody on the screen is a man. You can tell another man how to do that. My daughter, I always say, I got a daughter and I got some boys now. Them two different avenues of being a father. Them two whole different ways. I approach them two different. People always say, why you treat them different? I got to. Because life going to treat them different. Life is going to treat my daughter different than it's going to treat my son. So I have to do the same. And that's how life is. So I'm telling you, as a man now, I feel your pain because you're ahead of me. You're ahead of the curve. My boys are young. But, I seen the long nights. I seen the driving. I seen the sacrifice. So when it aggravates me, I'm sorry when somebody says it's hard to talk. What the hell? What do you mean it's hard to talk? So who is it going to be easy to talk to?
Yeah. And when they say it's hard to talk to, that means I'm not agreeing with you all the time.
Right.
That's all that means. That means I don't agree with you all the time. I don't agree with you a lot because you're 20-something years old and you don't know shit.
And as your father, I want you to be better than me. So I'm going to be hard on you because your decisions are almost mimicking mine. And I know how hard. See, you don't know, but I know how hard it was. See, you know how hard it was to be a young father. You know that. You lived it. So every time, even though they're happy and bliss in that moment, not saying you don't want them to be good as a granddaddy, because you're a proud man. It's just that you know what it can do to you as a man. You know about the crime, about the broke days, the sleepless nights, the discipline, the delayed gratification, the world coming on you, the people turning. You know that, and you don't want to see them go down that road. So when I'm telling you, bro, do this so you don't have to do this. Do this so you don't have to do that. I know it's a harsh reality, but do this so you don't have to do that. You need to call me. You need to talk to me as a man. Because I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. Now, I'm not going to say, hey, yeah, let's go. Go team boy, team girl. I'm going to say, bro, did you set up the account? Bro, did you do this? How many jobs do you have right now? Bro, you need to start buying tennis shoes. Bro, your rap shit, that shit over with. Hey, Kendall, all that stuff about hanging out and smoking weed, that shit over with, bro. I need you to get that. I need you to be in a better shape, too, because you need to be here around for these boys. I don't give a damn. Cut your hair, nigga. Be more percent. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You a man. I'm a man. Fuck all that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't think that's why I want to be quiet because I think you're doing an exceptional job. If anything, don't you ever question yourself again. Talking about should you have man, Big Norm sit at the table with us. I'm gonna let Chris go, and I seen him look him out, and I seen him work till he couldn't work no more. I seen all his boys are what about to be home. Yeah. All men,
harsh men,
all taking their families. So if I can sit at a table like that and say, I not only help raise my sons, but I help raise a neighborhood of boys by being the same Big Norm that used to cuss all us out, but we seen go to work at 4 o'clock and come home at 7. We seen barely kickle and jackal and smile. The same one. Well, then sign me up. Sign me up for that when I get 60. Sign me up to be that.
Because it don't matter if you don't do it, if you treat them. There's going to be a therapist 20 years later that tell them they got childhood trauma.
No matter
every
what.
time. It doesn't make a difference how you raise them. They're going to always go back and say, childhood trauma.
That's the easiest cash line. No matter, because know why? Because we always say it, bro. There's no handbook to this. Everybody parents mess up. There's no perfect parents. I'm going to mess up as a dad. All three of y'all is. Then we're gonna do some good stuff as a dad. Then the more kids we have, the better we get. But that's how life is. There's no blue book to this or no roadmap to being a parent. So everybody can point out the flaws a parent had when you was in a child. Yes, all of us fucked up at some point. We were doing the best we could. So that's why it's childhood trauma. Every child got trauma, but they made it to be an adult. So shut the hell up and let my child go. That's why I said,
my daughter had a conundrum the first week of school because her teacher gave her some homework. That's trauma to her, like completely. She did throw her completely off them Thursday and Friday, and they had the nerve to give her some homework. Oh my God, Dad, this is crazy.
Yeah. I think Mario, you broke it down really well. And that's the same thing, like we were saying, just that unity. The men got to do it, the men got to do it, the women got to do it, the women got to do it. I think Vanessa said a good part, which is very, very true. And I think we've had that conversation amongst ourselves, but all men haven't, because 3 out of 4 of us have daughters. So she was saying, are we having this type of conversation with our daughters to let them know that, they don't, we're not going to be there for them. They got to be developed for a man, so we don't create the same type of men that we're talking about we don't want inside of our women. I hope I said that correct, Vanessa. If I didn't, definitely key in. And I think that we do. You just said it. I know for myself, I have to teach my daughter this is your reality. Like Chris was just saying with Kylie. She was upset that she got homework on the first week. Yeah, there are going to be things in life that you don't want to do, and damn it, you're going to have to do them. I think that same take that we have with the sons, we have to have with the daughters. We got to have with the daughters even more so, because especially for me, if I'm talking about unity, I got to be showing my daughter that. And I still got more work. Like Blue said, this is a learning process for us. So as we learn it, we getting it out and we sharing it with you guys. Because if we're running into this problem, like my brother said, everybody has problems, whether they stem from where we came from or where you're going. We got to start putting into each other that, you're not the only one going through that problem, and start working on it, speaking about it more. Because I don't want my woman to come. I don't want my daughter, to come up and be the type of woman that says she don't want a man. Then what the fuck she want, a woman? Because I don't want that coming to my house. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to anybody that's what it is. But I like things to be natural. And I'm praying that I'm raising my daughter for everything to be natural. So she's going to understand that there are going to be some things that she may not like doing, like cooking or fixing the plate. But then that's what you just got to do, because he's not going to want to get up and go to work, but he's going to do that when you find that man, because he's going to want to make sure that you have all the things that you have, like you should be wanting to make sure that he has the things that he has. So I just feel like it takes both sides to make sure that we're pouring in equally, not this dumb divide that we have of, oh, I do it better or I do it better. Just do your damn part. You feel me? And make sure that y'all are having the conversations that y'all need to have, so that little one that we doing everything for don't come up and have the same problems that we have. But like Hardy said, we're going to be doing our best, and our kids still going to come up and say that there's something that we could have did a little bit better. And that's just the way that it goes. You feel me? They can work on that stuff with their kids and grandkids coming forth,
talk to God,
figure it out.
He gave me your daddy. Fuck, talk to the big guy.
And we got to teach them to have that conversation too. If you're not, you got to implement that, because they ain't going to go nowhere without that. So
I'll tell you this. I'm like, some of the most riveting conversations I ever had with my daughter, it's been the last 2 years of her life. Like her insight on asking me questions like, why did I pick my wife out of some of the women she seen me dealing with? Like, why? Like, what made me say that I'm gonna marry her? Like, she asking me these kind of questions at 22, and I'm having to answer. One of the realest things I told her is, as I explained to her how a man look at a woman from my point of view, not how women build you up, but how a man looks, and what makes us pick women, right? One thing I told her is this: you can't put a man in the same pedestal as me, because see, I'm gonna love you regardless, because I'm your daddy. Y'all love gonna be transactional, because y'all signing an agreement together. See, I love you if you lose all your teeth, if you go bald, if you turn to a school bus driver, if you broke, if you lose your leg, I'm gonna love you regardless. You're my responsibility. I love you no matter what. You're my baby. But see, your husband is signing up for something that you're promising him. So you can't just go in there and think that you can do whatever you want, look how you want, say what you want, be what you want, and think he gonna have the same unconditional love for you, but just because. That's bullshit. And I hope that anybody tell you that, listen to your daddy. That's bullshit. You're going to have to bring something to the table too. Damn all that table stuff. You're going to have to understand that right now you're outnumbered. It's 6 to 8 other women who want the same man you want. And if you get him, they won't get him. So understand your work, but understand. That's how I talk to her. Now, my mama might tell her something totally different. I'm pretty sure my mama going to tell her something different. My wife going to tell her something different. But as a man, to my poo-poo, I'm going to tell her this, the real. Every time he go out, the older he get, the harder it's going to be on you if you ain't married. So if you think he good, because you got to marry him, then you need to be doing stuff as a good woman to obtain a good man. instead of just walking around saying, well, my daddy did this. Yeah, I had to. I'm going to do it regardless because I don't have to lay with you. I don't have to be with you forever. See, I married her. I'm married to the person who I want to do that to. But you are requesting him to do that to you and then telling him, holding him to my standards. You can't do that. He'll never be me, but I can never be him to you. And I think a lot, like Zay was saying, a lot of men, because we hold our daughters so dear, we don't have them conversations with them because they're always our poo-poo. That's us. But then the worst thing I'm starting to see now is men are doing this and setting their daughters up for failure because then they go back into the world and then they be unmarried, bitter, angry feminists because they have this hierarchy of this, like Horace and Tootie always say this, you painting this prince in shining armor. Well, a lot of times as dads of women, we do that. And we create this mythical man who she looking for that she'll never get because that man is somebody who we built up to be off of what we're trying to protect her from the dumbasses in the world. Yeah. So I agree with Zay. That we have to do that to our daughters just as much.
I would say this. That's why I was so thankful for Horace. I was so thankful for Kevin Samuels because I believe that in the beginning, before my daughter, put in perspective, my daughter's 15, so we just started to address these certain things. But in my mind, before I was introduced to Kevin Samuels, I would have been one of those dads that say you don't need a man and stuff like that. He put me in a time machine and showed me 20, 30 years later what me saying that could possibly lead to. So I felt great for finding out that, okay, well, maybe now I should start somewhat grooming her to think that, hey, look, have some kind of compassion for men, have a level of respect for men. There's certain things that you just don't do to men, because we have certain things socially that we don't do to women. There has to start being some things that you have said in your mind that you don't do to men. And that will set you apart from other women because in nowadays society, there is not one thing that you cannot do to a man that's socially against all rules. On us, on the other hand, there's don't ask them to smile, don't ask them their weight, don't ask them their age, don't hold a door. There's so many social constructs that we have to deal with women, but there's nothing that says socially that we say don't do to men. And that's what I'm trying to impart into my daughter. We're not completely at the dating stage right now, but yes, I think that's the best way of looking at it. Prepare her for somebody to really would want to treasure her and not think she's trash.
Yeah, that's a great beginning too. Because respect, if you lead with respect, then we all know this as men.
Reciprocate.
Respect goes the furthest with us, no matter on every level. A real man gonna value respect. And then, like Chris said, bro, that's becoming very far and in between that men get respect. That's a sad day and time.
But I mean, it actually shit rolls downhill because, like you said, a lot of people don't like to believe that the man sits at the head. But if you don't respect the head, then the women don't get the respect that they feel that they need, and the children don't get the respect because they're gonna see the men and the women going back and forth at it and gonna feel like that's what it is. And at that point, you're not leading and teaching them a damn thing. So you definitely got to start with respect. Give it, you'll receive it. Everything will be a little bit better. It won't be perfect, but it'll be better.
And I agree, Jay. I respect head. That's not. Never mind.
Well, as you know, thank y'all for that sword fight in the show. Iron sharpens iron. So, hey, y'all join us for another week. Closing comments, Chris Leo.
It's late. I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm out of here, y'all. Take it easy. I'm talking about soon as we press the red button to go, I am out of here. This goddamn near 2 hours, goddamn it.
Yeah, you was going. So
45 minutes of it.
I hear that all the time.
It's the motherfucker that got his foot on the gas talking about, man, we got to go. Slow down. Hey, cool say.
Hey, I thank y'all for being here. We went long. I know we hear that a lot. Good night.
Super Mario Senior.
Man, thank y'all. Like Chris said, let me make this short so my boy can get some sleep. But I just want to bring one more guy back up on charges. Terrell Taylor, you
Oh
officially
man,
owe one because I entrusted into you my light skinned chef,
awful color.
and
You let us down.
thank you, but you sure let me down.
He on restaurant restriction.
The chef was a bum. Like, God damn, bro.
Hey, somebody had to.
This man bring me out my cake and my candles and shit. And bro, you in the no. You ain't been nowhere near a chef suit or nothing.
No
Like
fishnet.
I was just outside talking to you. I thought you was the bum. I walked right. Hardy told me outside, oh, that's the chef. He say the chef. Oh, yeah, cool. You know, whatever, no problem. I'm in the dinner, and then this bum from outside comes and bring me my food. I'm like, dog, I thought you was a bum. If you look at the video,
Yeah.
I'm actually mouthing that. Bro, I thought you was a bum.
I'm gonna have to bring that video back up. That was
No, that's definitely true, dog. Then Papa said, I didn't know he the chef. I went to order.
I'll tell you this: somebody had the chicken Frankies, whatever, and they had a rough night. Listen, they had me say, "Stop on it." Woo! He gonna tell y'all about it when he see you, boy. I'm talking about, boy, couldn't he sit in that seat good, boy? I'm talking about,
boy.
I said, boy, you got the mud, but huh? Yeah, that was good. Eating on the run. Show it his ass.
Oh man.
Hey, I have a good one, man.